Today's video we're going to be installing the new tie rod ends from 555. My steering has been messed up for a while. The boots are broken on the drag link and we need to adjust it to account for the lift anyways because there's quite a bit of bump steer. This is connected to your pitman arm, which is connected to your steering box. So this is associated with steering, vibrations, etc. After doing the 6-inch lift install, I had to have my brother get in the cab and turn the wheel in order to rotate the pitman arm so that I could get the bolt hole to line up with the panhard bar. I didn't adjust the tie rod end at all, and because of that, my steering wheel is like this now. All right, so this is the hill I was talking about. We'll get up to speed here, and you'll be able to see the steering wheel is pretty dangerous. It has a lot to do with the ruts in the road, but this is me trying to keep it straight after hitting, and it's gonna be hard to see, but there is a death wobble, and there's a lot of vibrations, and there's a lot of slack and play in the steering wheel. So that's caused by the angles for the bump stops not being the same. And what happens is when I hit one of the bumps, the panhard bar is going up and down to move the axle, whereas the drag link is doing the same thing, but they're different angles, so the wheels are kind of waffling like that. Another thing that's going to contribute to the wandering, or the darting as some people say, is going to be the rear panhard bar. And because of the mounting point being so low in relation to where the chassis is lifted now, because of the 6-inch lift, and it's even probably more in the back because I sold my rear bumper, my WTI swing out bumper, which accounted for a lot of weight with the spare tire on there, and it's perked up, giving me that stink bug look. I'm gonna fix that in the future with the coil spacers, but for now, we're just gonna worry about the front end. This is what I was mentioning with the Delta panhard bracket. It will mount there. It'll raise the mounting point of the panhard bar and make the panhard more level, which is what you want. So definitely not maybe the smartest idea, but it did work. Shaved a little bit of the pitman arm there, that's all right. All right, so now at least we can get our ball joint separator, the Amazon one, around it, just the stud. And we're gonna tighten that down and pop it out of there. All right, so it's out. That was not fun. Say a prayer, you're gonna need it. I ended up using the Harbor Freight one. Good luck. Maybe use a torch. All right, so now that we've got it removed, we've got our tensioning bolts loosened, and we got it in a vise. This option is no longer viable because I have broken the vise. What we're gonna do though is use a combination of a 3-foot pipe wrench, vise grips, on this after we heat it up. There's got a little thing for propane, so we're gonna get this red hot and then try it out. So I've actually just put the tie rod end in one of the open slots of my engine stand with the Cummins, and when I was first trying to do it, it was actually lifting the Cummins off the ground on that one side, which just goes to show you how much force it takes. In order to get this off, it's extremely frustrating, to be honest. Had I had the chance to do this all over again, I would 100% buy like the Ironman 4x4 or the Slee Off-Road tie rod end entire unit. It is well worth the amount of pain, frustration, turmoil, etc. But if you're like me, you're a glutton for punishment, or you just like fixing things and find things like this very satisfying. Now we have both of our 555 ends in. This is the pitman arm side, obviously, and this is a left-hand thread. This is the axle side, and this is a right-hand thread. So remember that when you're loosening this with your pipe wrench or however you choose to do it, so that you don't cross-thread them like I did. All right, so they're in now, and a lot of the slop is now gone. I've corrected my steering. I still have to get that put back in. The hardware for that is lodged in the other tie rod end, but it is in, and there's considerably less clunk. So now that we have it off the truck, we've loosened the sleeve adjusting bolts here, and now we're going to do the same as we did with the drag link. So So both of our tie rod ends are in now. Be sure to count the number of threads from the old tie rod ends, because that's going to set your alignment. This is the actual tie rod. The other is the drag link, which is associated with the steering arm. This will actually set your alignment. So we had 6 and 7 threads showing, so we got them exactly put back. We're going to go ahead and tighten our adjusting clips on both and install these with all of our cotter pins. Since this is a left and a right-handed thread, all you have to do, and all they would do at Firestone for $200, is loosen these once they get it up on their machine, and then you could use your wrist or your pipe wrench. You should just be able to use your wrist, because I re-greased these threads so that they won't seize, and you either go like this, like a motorcycle, or the other way, and that will lengthen or shorten this entire thing, because the ends will be going both in synchronization with each other, out and in. And that's going to set your wheel, since this is the front of the truck and this is the rear of the truck. It's going to either, if it's shorter, it's going to be pulling both the back of the tire in, and that's going to tow you out, or if you extend it, it's going to tow you in. All 4 tie rod ends are back in. I'm going to have to get a new piece of hardware here from Ironman 4x4, because the last one was seized and the threads are all stripped. But for the main part, that's how you get the old tie rods out and the new tie rods in. Like I said, make sure to like and subscribe for future content regarding setting the alignment and figuring out the rest of the steering components. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you on the trails.